I make it super easy. If I had a little cocktail next to me, I think it would be perfect.
Oh my
You know.
goodness.
Hey, welcome to Raising Archer. This is Scott and Carrie, and today we're going to talk about USA Archery Indoor Nationals and what it takes to make the USAT team.
That's right, Scott. The Indoor Nationals actually consist of two tournaments. There is Indoor Nationals, which is a double FIDA, and then there's also a JOAD line, which is a single line.
And that double FIDA when we used to shoot the double FIDA, it was interesting. It was the non-important one for the youth, the young youth. We all looked forward to the JOAD National one. And when you would shoot these, you could shoot it in Arizona, you could shoot it in Salt Lake City, you could shoot it in Texas, which was at College Station. Those were called sectionals. And so you would shoot these sectionals. There's rankings within the sectionals, so you could win the sectionals, but then your national ranking would take from all different locations, would come together and combine them. The JOAD Nationals is a one-day shoot. Let me rephrase that, because it used to be, for us, it was always Saturday at 1 p.m. every time. It's grown so much. Now they'll do a Friday line and a Saturday line at Texas A&M College Station.
One line, one shoot time, 60 arrows. Oh my gosh, where have I been? 60 arrows.
Your mind
is
was
your
back on
round.
outdoor, I think.
It was. It was. It was. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. So the JOAD line was a lot of fun. Connor used to shoot it when he was littler.
Crazy. I know at College Station, that is the craziest line. Everybody is there. It is packed.
Yes.
It's
And it was
loud.
it's the first shoot Connor shot that was large. That had, what do they have, 156 on the line or something like that.
Yeah.
That was the first big tournament that Connor shot, was Indoor Nationals.
For us too. Like our first big shoot, because it's right in our backyard, we would shoot Indoor Nationals. Back then, I never understood how USAT and all that worked. We're going to dive into that in just a moment, because there is some exciting news that U15 now is going to be a age class that they're going to have for USAT, which they've never had. I say they never had. They had it last year, but the rules have all changed for this year.
Yes.
But let's not get sidetracked, Carrie. Let's go ahead and talk about Indoor Nationals. What to expect when you show up, Carrie. So when you're signed up, you're showing up for Indoor Nationals, you've signed up. We're gonna pretend that whoever's listening, that you signed up for the Indoor Nationals, which is a 2-day, 2-time shoot. They call it a double FIDA, and then also the JOAD National line. So what do you expect when you show up?
What do you expect? You're going to shoot, more than likely you'll shoot Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or 2 times on Saturday and 1 time on Sunday.
Or like what we're doing, we're shooting Friday,
1 Saturday.
and then we're doing 2 on Saturday.
Okay. Yes, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. So there is a combination, but it is going to take up most of your weekend. It's run by USA Archery, so there will be, you walk in, get your waiver signed, equipment inspection. It is a 60 arrow round. They do alternate lines. You'll shoot AB first, and then CD, and then CD, and then AB.
Yep.
That is something to expect, and it's on a 40 centimeter single spot, or a 3 spot with baby X's.
That's a good point.
Enter 10.
Because a double FIDA is only 40 centimeter targets.
Yeah, and it's on enter 10 for compounders. Compounders open class will be enter 10.
And also, they don't swap from top to bottom, bottom to top.
Right, your target face stays there the whole time.
You could come back the next day and be on the bottom, but you're going to shoot all 60 arrows in that same spot.
In that position, yeah.
Yep. For College Station, we'll talk about College Station. When you show up, you can bring your own chairs. There's not a lot of chairs. The chairs they have are very uncomfortable, so a lot of people bring their outdoor chairs to sit. And for me, I just, everybody will know I'm there.
Right.
I set up a big camera. I have a little monitor in front of me. I make it, I make it super easy. If I had a little cocktail next to me, I think it would be perfect.
So both of these shoots are very similar to Aggie. If you've been to Aggie Invite,
yes,
it's like I said, it's run by USA Archery, so it's very, very seamless. It's as far as their process goes
Aggie Invite used
and
to run
consistent.
exactly like Indoor Nationals with a double fetal and a single Joad line,
Yeah, they used to
but it was so popular they had to go ahead and go to just a single line.
the single line,
Yep.
right? So what is the like? What does double feta mean to the listeners that don't understand
Yeah,
double feta?
double feta. So if you think about it, you're going to shoot two different times, 60 arrows in both times. They combine all those scores, and then that's the score that you go off. So if your day one score plus your day two score, and then that's your ranking for sectionals, which is if you're shooting at Texas A&M or in Arizona, you can get it. You can come in first place at your sectionals, but then they take that score and then it goes up to a national ranking, and then you can see where you go. There's I don't know how many locations. There's a lot. There's
There's a lot, and
more
I
than
think they
10
combined. I
locations
think they
around the
combined
nation.
scores. Um, the combined scores are, I think, by the end of February or maybe the middle of March is when we'll see like all of the combined scores.
Yeah, I don't know when that last shoot is, but you just have to look and see when is the last USA Archery National shoot being held.
Right.
I believe that they're already starting. I think they've already started.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so too. I
so
think
we
so too.
have so there's going to be a bunch of them, and you can find all those on Between Ends. So if you want to go find out, how everybody's doing each location, you can go look up at each one of them. But there will be a combined score that's out there already that they update normally throughout the weeks as the shoot's going on.
Perfect. Very user friendly.
The reason why double feet is important is if that's considered the first USAT of the season. There's 6 USATs. If you want to make the USAT team, you're going to have to shoot at least 3 USATs, one of them being Joad Outdoor Nationals. Again, we'll talk more about that in a minute, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that the this indoor nationals, the double FIDA, is your first USAT that you can shoot, which can give you a national ranking. So if you're wanting getting a national ranking, that's how you do it. The other shoot that's going to happen, which is at College Station, they'll shoot on Friday and they'll shoot on Saturday. It's called the Joad Nationals. You're going to have a sectional champions, first, second, and third, and then those scores get up, and then there's going to be national rankings for Joad as well. They're 2 separate tournaments. I know this happens every single year. People get confused on which one to shoot. If they signed up, they think they've signed up for everything. They don't realize those are considered 2 separate competitions: the national shoot and the Joad shoot. There's no no relationship between the two of them other than they're shot the same weekend. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't do a carry
Yeah.
and register for the wrong one.
Last year, Carrie signed up for Joad, not realizing you had to shoot the double. Last year for U15, you had to shoot that double FIDA, which
The
was the
double
national
feta.
shoot, and you had to shoot Joad, and
Yep.
that's how they did the USAT standings. This year is going to be completely different for the U15. All right, so indoor nationals,
You want to talk about what's different?
yeah. So indoor nationals, I think we've closed the loop on that. Just know that you can look at the sectional scores because Texas A&M on Between Ends will have their scores, and there's also a combined one. So just know that there's 2 different locations you can look. So if you look at it and you're like, hey, I'm number 1 in at College Station, and I go over and I look and I'm number 3 in, I'm just making this up, but you're ranked number 3 now nationally. Well, just know that there's a bunch more shoots coming. So don't go, you know what? I'm ranked 3rd in the nation. Not quite yet. Not until you get to
Right.
the end of all of the
Right.
series, and then you'll know where your ranking is. So USATs. This is one of the when it was so intimidating when I first came in, trying to understand how do you make the USAT team? How do you get that ranking? What is required? What is not required? We're gonna dive right into it now. But let's talk about U15 for a second. U15 is a new division that's come in. It's going to fall underneath just like U18 and U21. Same requirements to make the top 5 for the team. And this works for all divisions for youth. Scoring for USAT. If you go to indoor nationals, your scoring is your rank. So if you're ranked number 1, you got 1 point. If you're ranked 25, you got 25 points. That's how it works for indoor nationals. Okay, it's very straightforward.
Got it.
For USAT, when you go to USAT, so we're going to talk about Salt Lake City. That's the first. I think that's the first one. Is that the first one? Gator
That
Cup
is the
or
first one
yeah?
coming up.
So I think
No,
that's the
it's
first one.
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake is first. Arizona Cup
Mhm.
used to be it. Salt Lake is new. They're going to be the first one. It's going to be 2 weekends. So they're going to be adult weekend and a youth weekend. That's the only USAT that's going to be like that. Okay. But
Okay, good
let's
to know.
talk about. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. So your kid shoots USAT, shoots Salt Lake City. They go and shoot the qualifier, and they come. I'm going to use round numbers. Let's just say they come in 10th place in the qualifier. That's 5 points. You divide it by 2. Now you go into eliminations. In eliminations, let's just say you make it to the top 4, and let's just say you end up in third. That's a point and a half. So third place divided by 2 is a point and a half. So you ended up with 6.5 points.
Right.
Same example. If you came in 5th place in qualifiers, that is 2.5 points. If you go into eliminations and you come in 5th place, that's 2.5 points. So you ended up with 5 points for that tournament. You want the minimum
Right.
amount of points. So, for example, you come in first. Another example, you come in first in qualifier, first in eliminations. That's 1 solid point. Half point for one, half point for the other. I know I'm giving an overkill, but I'm just trying to make sure everybody understands the
Right.
point
Right.
systems
No, I
on
think
that.
that's a good example.
Okay.
I needed that breakdown last year.
Yeah. So that gives you your points. You want the lowest number of points. So now you go. So you've done indoor nationals. You've done Salt Lake. You've gone to Gator Cup. You've shot there. You've got your points there. Let's just say you've done really well. You finished, top 5 for indoor. You ended up with just maybe about 3 points in total. Let's just say total 3 points in Salt Lake. You end up with 4 points in at Gator Cup, and then you decide I'm not shooting anymore, and I'm going to go do Gator Cup or go to Joad Nationals and Joad Open or the Open shoot, and you do terrible. It doesn't matter. You can drop the Joad scores, even though it's required to shoot. So let's just say you shoot every single USAT out there except Joad Nationals, and you were ranked number 1 in the nation, and you don't go shoot Joad Nationals. What happens, Carrie? Outdoor Joad
Don't make
Nationals.
the USAT team
You do not make the USAT team. They give you 3,000
because,
points
yep,
for it because it's a mandatory shoot. So you get mandatory 3,000 points. So there's no way that you can make the
there's
top
no
5
way
at
that you
that
can.
point.
Yeah.
So there's 6 total USATs, right, Carrie?
Yes. We counted the Indoor Nationals, Double FIDA,
Mm-hmm.
Salt Lake City, SoCal, Gator Cup, and Buckeye Classic, and then the Outdoor Open, Nationals Open.
Which is in
So
Nebraska
that
this
makes
year.
in Nebraska. In Nebraska, should have good weather there.
This will be the
Um,
first time in that I can remember that Buckeye is going to shoot before Joad Nationals, which is great.
oh yeah,
So for us, we're going to
yeah.
go ahead and travel to Buckeye, shoot there, and then we're going to travel from Ohio to Nebraska, and then shoot Joad Nationals at that point.
Okay, that's a lot more logistically smart
So it
and
will be about a week
economical.
and a half of travel,
Yeah, but I mean, overall, because last year we shot nationals and then we still had one more USAT left. We still had Buckeye
and
left.
we had a bunch of kids that actually flew and drove all the way to
Yeah,
Ohio from
from
Albuquerque, New
Albuquerque.
Mexico.
Yeah, we did. There was quite a few of them. Um, so I hope that I know coming into this is a big change even for us. Connor qualified for that USAT team for the U15. It was just 2 shoots, indoor nationals and the Joad Outdoor
Uh
Open.
huh.
This year, I'm glad we have you to help us navigate this with all the extra shoots. So,
Yeah,
um,
there's only 3 required shoots. So
3
just know
required.
3 required. So if you shoot all 6, they're going to take your 3 lowest point competitions. knowing how it's been in the past, you can go to, it used to be Arizona, but we'll do Salt Lake. That's probably going to be the biggest shoot of the season because that first USAT is always seems to be very big and very
Big.
competitive.
Okay. Good
As
to
you go to
know.
Gator Cup, it gets smaller. Smaller as people realize that they can't make the USAT team, less start to show up. California has
Okay.
always been, I've noticed that you can get points very easily. So, you may go to Salt Lake and there's 30 kids in your compound division, or there may be 150 recurve in the division. You go to
Oh
you
my
go to
gosh, that's a lot of
California
kids.
compound. I remember one year for compound, there was only like 12 kids that competed.
Oh
So it's
wow.
so that was an easy spot to go grab some low points. If you want to be
Right.
strategic, you shoot them all. I like to
For
be
sure.
very transparent on the price. So if
Oh
you,
yes.
and a lot of people don't like to hear this, but if you want to shoot every single one of the USATs, I believe it's about $20,000 in travel.
Right.
And that's just a rough number. You could do it a little less. If you're super bougie, it could be a little more. It really depends on how you want to travel and how you do it.
Right.
I know that several people will drive to try to keep the price down as cheap as they can. Sometimes you can get really good flights. California last year, super cheap prices on flights
Okay.
to get
Good to
there.
know.
So, keeping, looking at that and staying ahead of it is great, trying to find good prices on that to bring that price down. But I believe that if you really want to go for it, you're probably looking at about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of travel.
Something we didn't cover real quick is like the timing of the year. These start, I believe, in April,
Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
and
So
then Joad Nationals and the Nationals Open is for outdoor is in July. So I know that then they will end in July.
Gator Cup is first.
Oh, okay. I thought Salt Lake City was,
Yeah, I
but
was I
okay.
was I was thinking, like, what's Gator first? Because we've already registered for Gator. So Gator
Yeah.
Cup is April 16th and 19th. Then Salt Lake, it's every month. So it's April, May, June. They have them like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
So you'll
Good. That's
have,
good.
April, Gator Cup, May, Salt Lake. Then June is SoCal. And then July is Buckeye. And then you have Joad Nationals at that point.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. April through July.
Yes.
Mark your calendars.
So if you haven't signed up for Gator Cup,
Probably need to look at that.
I've already signed up. We've already signed up for it. You probably still have time. They do fill
Okay.
up, especially
Okay.
the first one. So my
That's good to
guess
know
is Gator
too.
Cup's
Is this,
probably going to be one of the biggest they've ever had because it's the first one. Everybody's
okay,
excited about outdoor season.
outdoor, right? That's good to know too because I always just take for granted, oh, we're outside. There's unlimited space.
There's not, and so Gator
Good to know.
Cup will probably fill up, is my guess.
Okay.
Salt Lake City has now, they're having a youth weekend and an adult weekend. This is the first time they've ever done that I know of. And if I look in my crystal ball and said, okay, what does USATs look like in the next few years? My guess, since they've opened up U15 for the USAT team, that now you're adding a lot more kids and you're adding a different distance, which is 40 meters for youth recurve. So that forces another distance. So that tells
Right.
me that every USAT location may start looking at two two different
Splitting it up.
times, two different dates. That
Yeah.
that allows for a lot more archers, but that that is a long couple weeks for whoever's
Ooh.
running it. And I would think USA, because I think USA has a lot of people to travel to all these. So, for example, Salt Lake, that's probably 2 weeks. That's a 2 week straight trip because you have the setup the week
Right.
before, you have the weekend, then you have 1 week that you're there getting everything back in order. Then you do it again, and then you got to tear down and
And
get
then you
out.
got to take it here, bring it home. Yeah. Man, I'm excited. I know we're not even hardly started and kicked off indoor season yet, but I'm looking forward
Well,
to
indoor
the
is going to be over
outdoor
before you know it.
activities for sure. Because we're almost there.
We have indoor nationals coming up, Lancaster, Vegas, and then Vegas is probably going to be most people's last tournament of the season. And I know there's a lot of state level shoots going on too. I haven't really been keeping up with the state level. Looking at national levels. There are when it comes to tournaments, there's so many of them. But we wanted to focus on what does USAT look like, because I'm getting a lot of questions over that, and we wanted to kind of clear that up with you guys. But I just want to thank everybody for joining.
And we'll see you at the next target.